Hello, good morning, guys. Welcome to today's pre-market analysis. Uh, yeah, जी, good morning, शौर्य जी, सूरज जी, सबको good morning. Thank you. I hope my uh, screen and audio is properly audible. Okay, we'll come back to this, guys. We'll come back to this definitely. Anyway, we'll start off with the Nifty levels for the day. So we'll start off with Nifty. So yesterday, if you see that on the opportunity wise, it was pretty difficult yesterday. So if you see that we have already marked that 15-minute range, and even after that also, if you see that it pretty didn't move with respect to my this way of setup. I didn't had a proper entry of any of these levels, to be frank. So if you see over here, it never tested my pivot line level. So entry was kind of pretty difficult, but it was different on the other in Nifty 50. I'm seeing in Nifty mid cap select. If you see that, I had a great opportunity on the downside at initially we had tested our both our levels. So anyway we'll start off with today's levels. So 25 7 57 45 will be today's pivot line level with respect to the previous day data. If you see, so pivot line on Nifty 50, 25,745. It is, we'll mark it as 45 only then today for the day. And support one with respect to this will be at 25,590, and support two will be at 25,450. For 48 it is, we will mark it as 450, and support three will be at 25,293. So these are the levels with respect to uh, Nifty 50. Nifty 50 on previous day's data. So with respect to the resistance side, if you see 25,890, 87 it is, we will round it off to 890. And with second resistance with it, which will be at 26,042, and we will mark it as 40. And resistance 3 is at 26,184. So these are the levels with respect to the Nifty 50. We will quickly mark the pivot line and we will move on to the other Nifties in 25,745 today's pivot line level, and we will come back to Nifty once again. We will come back to Nifty after marking the levels of Bank Nifty as well as the three indices, if you see. And on the side of Bank Nifty also, we had similar structure in the market. The first initially it dropped down, and these are yesterday's 15-minute level. So with respect to Bank Nifty 550, 59,550 will be today's pivot line, 59,550. So if you see, it was nearly 300, 59,300 yesterday. And with respect to this and support, one lies at 59,340. 59,340 will be the first support, and support 2 will be at 59,097 we will mark it as 100 only. So support 3 is at 58,000, 58,880, and on the resistance side 59,793 it is, we will mark it as 90 only. 59,790, and resistance 2 is at 60,007, and resistance 3 at 60,250 will mark. 250. So these are the levels with respect to Bank Nifty on pivot line levels. So we'll mark these levels quickly. 59,550. 59,550 will be today's pivot line, and I hope it is clearly trading above the level. Yeah. So it is trading above the level, and if you see the closing happen near to the pivot line level, so I hope we will get a better entry on this Bank Nifty as well as the Nifties today. So anyway, we will mark the first resistance, which is at 59,790. 59,790 will be the first resistance, and on the support side, the first support lies at 59,340. 59,340 will be the first resistance. So we'll mark these levels. We'll come back again when we have a proper data on the moving. I mean the real to market data when it arrives. We'll wait for the pre-market as well. Now we will move on to the Sensex part. And if you see similarly, it exactly mirrored the Nifty's movement. If you see on the 15-minute time frame also, it was it started over here, it tested our level and it bounced back from that particular level. If you see, it's not clearly came up to our level, but definitely if it is always a zone. So it almost reversed back from this level with on a 15-minute time frame. If you see that, we got a proper reversal, but still we didn't took up an entry on this level, as we were waiting for a proper retest entry. And also if you see on this drop was also pretty promising, but it also didn't sustain up to our first support also. So anyway, we'll have a look at today's levels, to today's pivot level. So whatever levels, whatever setups we are doing, so me personally, if I have a particular level, then definitely I'll respect that level. If I missed an opportunity also without testing my levels, I would really not take an entry in that, to be frank. But anyway, I'll just focus on whatever setups we have been made, and we will wait for the proper entry to happen on that particular setup itself. Even if it is slightly coming and not touching and reversing, giving us big point also, that like we can do a quick aggressive scalping trade and all, but definitely we should stick on to the setups. Anyway, like pivot point for Sensex is 83,715. 16 it is 83,715 we will be putting. And with respect to that, support 1 lies at 83,170. And support 2 is at 82,720. And support 3 is at 82,180 will mark. 77 it is. So with respect to the resistance side, it is at 84,170, and resistance 2 is at 84 712 it is, we will mark it as 10. And on the resistance 3 side, R3, 85,165 will mark it as 160. So these are the levels with respect to Sensex also. And if you see that yesterday's movement was also pretty broader movements happened, and that's the reason between the broader ranges as also in between the support and resistance. That's the reason why we have a bigger range also. So anyway, we will mark the pivot line level, which is at 83,715, 83,715. That's for the first support. If you see 83,170, and it's still in 83,170, and 83,170. And on the resistance side, if you see, it is at 84,170. Yeah, 100 points down from yesterday's level. 84,170 will be today's pivot line resistance 1. So it is clearly trading above. No, it closed below the this. You can see over here. It is closing below the pivot line level for the day. So we will wait for this breakout to happen on a bullish side trades, or else we will plan a retest entry at this particular level to the downside. We'll have a look at the pre-market, and after that we will decide, and we'll move on to nifty mid cap. So if you, in case of nifty mid cap, yesterday we had opportunity. If you see on 15-minute, we had a proper opportunity here as well. On a 15-minute range, we discussed that we usually don't trade on 15-minute range on mid cap nifty, because I felt like that it always sometimes it usually makes up into a trap. So I usually do not trade a 15-minute range breakout on a morning momentum trade in mid cap nifty. But if you see that yesterday we got a clear opportunity over here, and after a breakdown here, it clearly reversed from this level, keeping a promise that it will go up to like our resistance part. But again, it consolidated in between that area, and it again came back up with a proper volume breakout. So triple candle breakout here, you can see properly breakout and a retest, and again a breakout below that level. If you see that, a proper breakout, then a retracel, retest at that level, and proper breakout. This is a clear price action confirmation entry, and if you can just can validate it with the increasing volume, and you can properly take an entry at this particular level, and we got a clear point up to our first target in mid cap nifty. So anyway, we will mark today's level. So we have pre-opening, it is opening below the pivot line level for the day. Oh, okay, I delete. So 13,651 will be today's pivot line. It is almost near to the yesterday's points as well. 13,650, and support one at 13,530, and support two at 13,405. It is, we'll mark it as 400 only. Support 3 is at 13,280. And with respect to the resistance one, 13,770, we will mark it as first resistance. And resistance 2 is at 13,897. So 897 we will mark it as 900 only. And resistance 3 is at 14,020. These are the levels for mid cap nifty for the day, and we will mark that levels here. 13,650 will be the pivot line level, and first resistance at 13,770. Support at 13,530. And here as well, it is opening below the uh, pivot line level. So we will wait for that initial market settlement to happen, and we'll move on to Nifty now. Nifty, we didn't mark the levels, only I guess the pivot line level is marked. On resistance side, if we see 25,890, 25,890 will be the first resistance. And on the support 3, this is support 3. Support 3 is at 25, 293. We'll mark it as 290 only. 25 to 290. And on the bullish side, if you see, resistance 2 and 3 can be considered as the bullish zones, which is at 26,040, and it is at 26,184. We will mark it as 180 only. 180. And on the consolidation side, if you see, it will be between support 1 and resistance 1, 25 590, 25 590, and resistance 1 is at 25 890. And on the bearish side, will be below support 1, 25 590, to the support 2, which is at 25 450. So these are the levels with respect to Nifty 50 today, and clearly we can see that it is opening a little bit more dragging than the other indices over here. And I hope everyone knows this, that tomorrow is market holiday. So today we have Sensex expiry. So it was not listed in NSE like on back in 13th, not yesterday, day before yesterday, 12th. It was announced that 15th will be remaining a market holiday for NSE and BSE due to the municipal corporation election in Maharashtra. So due to that reason, to day after tomorrow, Thursday, which was supposed to be Sensex expiry, that day the stock market, Indian market will be closed for that day, and expiry is happening today. So we can expect that volatility in that. So anyway, we'll have that, we'll keep that in mind. And yes, similar trend and pattern followed by FIA and DAA. DAA, FIA keep on selling. Majorly, they are selling off from the IT sector. This energy sector and IT sector, they are majorly focused on. And DAA is buying back, and it is nearly 1,500 crores of cash from the cash market. And also, FIA is sensible data, if we see, where we can see the FNO's data clear. It is net bearish on last day, so we'll have a look at that as well. So we have a gap down start also. Let's see if this open positions are being closed at an entry at the start of the market. Then definitely a pull up should be there, but sustainability of that pull up, we should have a focus on that as well. If it is sustaining only, then only we will be planning an entry at that in level. Okay, good morning, सार्थक जी, गुड मॉर्निंग गाइस। क्या लगता है आज आप, मतलब हमें गैप डाउन ओपनिंग है, सूरज भाई देखते हैं। अश्विन जी गुड मॉर्निंग। सर मेरे पास 20,000 था, मैंने दूसरे चैनल से सिग्नल लेके 6,000 का लॉस कर लिया, क्या करो? देखो मतलब एम एम रैंडम 6 भाई, मतलब जो सिग्नल आप किसी से अगर ले रहे हैं तो फिर प्रॉपरली अगर उनकी वो पर्टिकुलर पर्सन का व्यू के हिसाब से वो सिग्नल देते हैं। जो मैंने आपको यहाँ दिखा रहा है वो पिवोट लाइंस की बेसिस वाला लेवल्स जो मैंने देता है आपको, तो वो उनका भी उनका सेटअप होगा। तो वहाँ दिक्कत ये है कि अगर उनकी व्यू, मार्केट हमेशा 50-50 है, हम वो व्यू के हिसाब से कौन सा 50 से पैसा निकालना है ये हम ट्रेडर्स देखते हैं ना, राइट? जो भी ट्रेडर्स वहां हैं उन लोग सब यही देखते हैं। तो इन लोग जब ये सिग्नल देते हैं, अगर उनकी व्यू की उल्टा या रिवर्स, उसकी व्यू की अगेंस्ट वो मार्केट चला, तो तुरंत वहां एक्ट करना या फिर उनकी रिस्क मैनेजमेंट के हिसाब से क्या करना है उनको खुद पता होगा। पर वो सिग्नल के हिसाब से, वो मूवमेंट के हिसाब से जब ग्रुप पे या फिर अपना जो भी है आपको कनेक्ट करके, या फिर जब वो जो एडवाइस देगा, तब तक मतलब जो मूवमेंट आना वो हो चुका होगा। तो फिर अगर हमें खुद जानता नहीं, हम मतलब रिस्क प्रॉपरली कैसे मैनेज कर रहे हो और मेरा व्यू क्या है और व्यू के अगेंस्ट गया तो क्या करना है, ये सब हमें पता नहीं है, तो हम मतलब वो लॉस पूरा पकड़ेगा। या फिर हम अर्ली मतलब लॉस पे ही बुक करेंगे, या फिर हम लॉस बढ़ाते रहेंगे, उनका एसएल के आगे से भी हम बढ़ाते रहेंगे। ये हमारा साइकोलॉजी है। पर मेरे हिसाब से अगर मैं कह रहा तो सिग्नल जब लेगा, अगर आपको पढ़ाई आगे करने का मतलब ट्रेडिंग कर सीखने का मतलब टाइम वगैरह नहीं है तो हमेशा फंड लोड से ट्रेड करना, मेरा बस इतना ही कहना है। प्रॉपरली एस एल मैनेज करना, मतलब वो सिग्नल जो भी दे रहे और हमारे साइड से भी मिल रहे तो रिस्क प्रॉपरली मैनेज किया तो ही अपना कैपिटल को संभाल के लॉन्ग रन पे रह पाएगा। कार्तिक जी हाय, हेलो, हाउ आर यू? चंद्रशेखर जी गुड मॉर्निंग। गुड मॉर्निंग योगेश सर, वही वही रैंडम जी वही है। दीपक जी गुड मॉर्निंग। आज बुलिश है क्या सर? मतलब मकर संक्रांति है आज, सो आई डोंट see market on a historical data. If we see that there is no particular movement in, especially like event based movement in Makar Sankranti like that we get in Diwali have definitely a positive impact, but Makar Sankranti can be considered as a good stock wise. If we see on a rural segment, like if you see on agriculture, on a real estate, on a consumer goods, we can, the stock might can move on that, but on an overall basis there is no impact for Makar Sankranti in the overall market, to be frank. I hope random जी आपकी ये clear हो गया. Yeah, we have an opening hour here and yeah, it is lifting it up, but wait, we'll wait for this first initial minutes. सर मैंने SL 15 पॉइंट्स का रखा था, 1000 रुपीज एंड टारगेट 25, 2025, ओके। पॉइंट्स अगर SL हिट होता तो नो ट्रेड्स फॉर द डे, ओके ओके अंडरस्टूड। बट आपने लिखा है कि 20,000 का कैपिटल पे 6,000, सो दैट मीन्स मतलब दैट इज नियरली मोर देन गुड परसेंटेज ऑफ दैट, मतलब वी शुड, आप जो भी SL रखेगा और आपकी कैपिटल के हिसाब से रिस्क मैनेजमेंट पोजीशन साइजिंग करना चाहिए। पर जब ऑप्शंस पे आ जाएगा, आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट, मतलब वो प्रॉपर कैलकुलेशन जो इक्विटी के हिसाब से नहीं होता, क्योंकि हमें एक लोड तो मिनिमम ट्रेड करना ही है। बट 20,000 पे 6,000 रुपीज एक ट्रेड पे अगर आप लॉस कर रहे हैं तो फिर आई डोंट सी दैट इट इज अ गुड प्लान, मतलब अच्छा प्लान जैसा मुझे नहीं लग रहा। हम यूजुअली, मतलब देखो, मैं 1 लाख जो भी हमारा आल्गो ट्रेडिंग्स पे करते हैं, हम यूजुअली वॉलेटाइल मार्केट रहता है, हम 1 लाख की अगर कैपिटल इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, ये प्रॉपरली एक्सैक्ट सेटअप नहीं है, जो भी हम पर्सनली अगर ट्रेड कर रहे हैं तो भी 1 लाख कैपिटल है तो फिर 1 लोट का प्राइस मिनिमम रिस्क कर सकता हूँ एक ही दिन, मतलब इतना है मैक्सिमम रिस्क, पर उससे ज्यादा मतलब थोड़ा दिक्कत रहेगा, क्योंकि मतलब लॉन्ग रन पे नहीं रहेगा, और 20,000 की कैपिटल पे हम 6,000 बहुत है, मतलब थोड़ा। एनीवे दिस प्रॉपर रिस्क मैनेजर, और पार्शियल बुकिंग भी कर सकता है। अगर पॉइंट्स देखो, 20 पॉइंट्स का टारगेट है, व्हेन इट रीचेस 10 पॉइंट हम इधर पार्शियल बुक कर सकते हैं, अगर 2 लोट है तो, 1 लोट है तो अपना SL को थोड़ा ट्रेल करके कोस्ट पे रखते हैं ना, ताकि हमारा कैपिटल का रिस्क थोड़ा कम हो जाएगा, हमारा व्यू के हिसाब से हम वो रेस्पेक्ट करके वेट भी कर सकता है, होल्ड कर सकता है, हम पैनिक बुकिंग या प्रॉपर एक सिस्टम हमारा माइंड के अंदर भी आ जाएगा तब। Heat map will look. Heat map doesn't seem so good. Anyway, still the IT sector, minerals and energy sector is dragging. Uh, So it's like I said, FIA is kind of selling off with this due to majorly due to geopolitical reasons only. But last day we had a little bit of positive uh, towards when we had a new ambassador from the US side, and we are expecting to have a good trade deal. But what exactly happened on that day, that was purely news based. So when we hear something like that, people all in a sudden they have a positive sentiment towards that. So that's the reason why we got a reversal on that previous day. This reversal happens on previous day. A huge reversal was there. So that was the reason due to that particular news. But once that news comes, until and unless next one comes, it will be still the neutral signal. So it is related to the implied volatility. When IV is higher, the premium also spikes up. So due to the reasons why the market, obviously the spot spikes, so the premium also boost up. So when uncertainty is there, when we have या हो सकता है या नहीं हो सकता है, then that kind of thing create uncertainty in the market, which increases the my IV. Either side, if it is going, if it is a negative impactful, then also the IV increases and P's premium spikes up. On the other side, C is both. When IV is higher, both premium should be spiked. To be frank, C indices 38 decline, 34 declining. Coal India energy sector. This yeah. Bill is also like moving. Yesterday we had MPV, NTPC is also again reversing, I feel. Titan is on a downtrend, two rupees on a downtrend. Yeah, it's also driving. IT is also not so neutral only if you see. ONGC and Coal India is giving a push. Yeah, our pivot line levels are going to be tested, and we will have a look at Nifty also quickly. I feel like yeah, it is 15 minute. We have a proper volume candle on the bull side. So if it is sustaining and closing above this level, we can plan an entry on a retest. Or retest at this level, we can plan an entry. Uh, it, it changed. So if you see that we were seeing on they were both running on negative, and if you see that it turned out to be neutral sign, and only IT sector is pretty dragging today. Yeah, cap also similar scenario. It is 15 minutes, 6 more minutes we have it. If it is closing above this level, then we can plan an entry at the, because if we consider the previous day's closing also, it is trading above the previous day's closing, and we can consider that if it is closing above the pivot line level, and we can plan a bull entry on this side. Back to Nifty. Almost tested the pivot line level, and it is still on down. सर ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ 1 मंथ पे 6,000, या मतलब आपको मुझे लग रहा हो, मतलब जितना भी ट्रेड आप ले रहे हो उसके हिसाब से हम रेशियो कैलकुलेट करना चाहिए, मतलब आउट ऑफ 10 ट्रेड्स आपको कितना, मतलब सही जा रहा है कि नहीं, मतलब आपने प्रॉफिटेबल रह पा रहा है, एंड उसमें अगर प्रॉफिटेबल रह गया तो अभी टारगेट कितना हिट हो गया, इसी हिसाब से हम मतलब उसको एनालाइज करते रहना चाहिए। आपके रिस्क रिवॉर्ड रेशियो वो रेस्पेक्ट भी करना है, उसके साथ साथ जितना भी मतलब जो भी आप कैपिटल इस्तेमाल करके ट्रेड कर रहे हैं, और उसकी एक्यूरेसी भी आप कैलकुलेट करना है, ताकि मतलब हमें लॉन्ग रन पर रह पाएगा. Abdul Sadiq mid cap. Yeah, we'll have a look at mid cap. Mid. Still trading above the pivot line level. If we have a closing of 15-minute candle above this level, we can plan an entry on the bullish side. On my view, we'll uh, so, yeah, so yeah, 14 yesterday itself, and if you see that it is still at 56, not to the overbought zone, and 15 minute. If you see in day time frame, we'll have a look at 1 day time frame as well. It is at 45. When it tested this level, then definitely, yeah, it should go on this bull side if it is sustaining above this level, and we will plan an entry accordingly. 15 minute, we'll change it to 5 minutes, and we will change this. We will add a short time EMA. 9 days we will be adding. Yeah, it's about 9 days EMA on 1 day time frame. We will see just below 15 minute. Yeah, we'll let it close above this level, then only we will plan that entry. Well, let us get that confirmation that yeah, it is trading above the Nifty is pivot line for mid caps pivot line level today, and only after that we will confirm that we have an opportunity on the upside, and we will validate it. If we are getting a retest over this level, then we will plan an entry. And let's say that if it is closing above this level and the next candle comes close below this level, then we will take entry upon only once after this re, when it is reclaiming this pivot line level and sustaining above. So if it is crossing down, then again we have that uh, like not a proper confirmation on that. Only above this level we will plan the entry. So still it is trading above. Once it is closed, then we can go forward with that entry if it is sustaining above. See if the rolling. Let's wait for this. Sustaining above, then definitely we can go for that bull side entry. Like I said, if it is again coming back, then we will wait for a crossover to happen. Above this, then only we will take an entry. So on a stock side, if we see, we can look at few stocks. Call India, and you see NTPC, we'll see, we'll look at NTPC. NTPC. 5 minutes, yeah. Yeah, we see that if it is going to sustain above the uh, this level, then we'll plan an entry on NTPC. Uh, there are two ways we can do that. An aggressive trader can take an entry at the breakout after the retest. So again, if it is a breakout happening, someone can plan it an entry at here, or some are there who wait up to this previous high to be like broken, and they will be keeping their SL at the swing low. This is one of the method. And if you see, and some can take an entry at this particular point on the previous resistance level. This also can be traded. So anyway, we'll see if we get an opportunity. We'll keep having look at. So if you see that it is already trading above the trend line, dynamic resistance. This is what we call dynamic resistance, where it movement happen on a lower high basis. If you see, and this was a particular news based movement over here. If you see, this was a major news based movement in NTPC, and it is trading above the trend line. We will see where the closing happens. Yeah, yeah. It's tested the Nifty mid cap levels. A closing, a 5 minute candles closing is needed for that entry. So wait for it. We'll wait for that entry to happen, and after that we'll plan that trade. So if it is a reverse from this level, then definitely we can plan a reversal entry. So your reversal is happening over here. So it is reversing from pivot line level. See that the major heavyweight stocks are on neutral side. If this is a doji closing below the level, then we might change our view. We'll trade on the bear side only, but we will wait for this 5 minute candle closing above the pivot line level. And then only after that, we will take an entry on the bull side. Bull side, we can take an entry if we get a closing above the level. Uh, yeah, it is already trading above the level. If we are getting a retest at this level, then we can plan an entry on Bank Nifty. But exactly if we see that Bank Nifty, I don't know why this should be a cautious situations. Like you should be properly manage your risk. Yeah, it changed. Okay, okay, now it's changed to a little bit on a positive side, and yeah, this as well on a neutral basis, but still we have it. It's not least negative. Yeah, here if you see it is reversing, so we should be properly cautious about this movement. And a 5 minute start, if it is see on this candle, this is a doji candle and proper doji candle. And if you see that the buyers were pushed down to this level, back to this level, and if this is reversing as well, we'll see. We'll get Nifty also. So yeah, it is reversing from this level. The bull side entry will only happen only if it is trading above this pivot line level. Then only if we get a closing above this level, then only we'll be taking entry. This is reversing from this level, so we can plan an entry on the downside if you see. It's closing down. It was decreasing even if we got a proper green candles over here. But if this is over, if this selling volume is overcoming, like overlapping the buying volume, then definitely we can plan an entry at here. So it's still at 58 on 5 minute. If you see, it's still not on the overbought zone. Yeah, if we have a doji candle near to our pivot support line level, pivot level, and we have a doji candle near the pivot level, and if it is reversing and closing, then we can plan a downside entry. So as of now, our view is on bearish until and unless we get a closing above the level. So we have a bearish. We still didn't get the breakout out of this. You see 745 on this level. Mid cap, we'll have a look at mid cap again. Cap reverse, but if we are getting an entry at this point, we can take that this entry on a retest. On a retest basis, we can plan an entry at this point. Until and unless it is staying above, if it is staying above the pivot line, still we are on bullish side. But Nifty is showing weakness a little bit, and it came down below the level, and it never closed above the pivot line level so far. Yeah, I guess it will close above. As we can see, the RSA relative strength index is moving. I feel like that it should close above the level, above the pivot level. See if it is closing above the levels. That expiry basis volatility is not seen in the market, to be frank. So I expect a little bit volatility, but usually from the past sessions, if you see that Sensex expiry is kind of negative, to be frank. So if it is a reversal, then we have opportunity a little bit on the bearish side. But usually, this Sensex expiry for the past days, if you see that it was kind of bearish on a bear sentiments, but let's see. So it should not be on the same all the time, but so we will wait for that. If we get a confirmation candle closing above the pivot line level, then we can definitely go on that bull side. So I hope everyone understands that now that we have continuation of this live market sessions from at 10 o'clock. So you'll be getting the links in Discord channel. You can continue watching there. If so, in a VWAX setup is being discussed on that. So definitely you guys can watch. You guys will be getting the link on Discord channel on announcement if you see. Yeah, that candle also tested and it is also having not much more volume in it. Yeah, volume is increasing. Air side volume if you see. It is still the same. 26 declining, and now also NTPC, yeah, NTPC moved 1% for the day. ONGC also, yesterday also ONGC was almost one percentage above, I believe. So yesterday also ONGC was there on the top side. And bail, yeah, to say almost 6.6%. TMPV was also moving. Yeah, yeah, we are getting a reversal, so definitely we can plan this downside entry, and we have a gradual growing bear side volume also, so we can plan this entry over here. So, but still it is Sensex expiry, so I want everyone to have a proper position sizing and proper risk reward ratio to be maintained on this trade. Every trade you take that day, and here in Bank Nifty also we are getting a breakdown below the level. So I am still on bearish. With respect to the previous day's data is also expiry, Sensex expiry on the bear side, and on Nifty mid cap sells also we'll have a look at that. Yeah, even if it is still staying above this level, but if we are getting a retest, then properly have uh, wait for that volume supported bounce back. If it is not supported by volume, and if we get a proper volume breakdown, then definitely don't take an retest entry over here. So but chances are there that it can consolidate it as well. So don't get trapped on it as well, please. So anyway, you guys can continue the live trading session on at 10 o'clock. So yeah, we have another green candle over here, but wait for this bull side entry is only happening only if it is closing above and sustaining this level. As of now, still we are on the bear side, and if volatility might be there, as it is Sensex expiry, so we trade with proper caution. Trade everyone. I wish everyone a good day, and thank you everyone for joining, and thank you so much. I hope everyone's coming. Yeah, I hope. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you everyone. Have a good day and happy Makar Sankranti.